Hello, everybody. We're back. Time for trains. Trains and trains. So, time for that. I see Bandans here. I see Challengers here. I see Memail Mike's here. For those wondering, I'm doing all right. Just been extremely busy, as I explained in both my Discord message and my community post. Dealing with job applications, dealing with job interviews. Unfortunately, no results yet, but getting through the process, feeling a little mentally better, despite that situation not changing too much, feeling just mentally better. But during the kind of week or so, or 2 weeks even, that I had to kind of focus on that, it was just, I didn't feel I could put out a good stream for you guys. But we are back, at least for this weekend, so that way we can, in fact, have trains. And what better game to be back with than good old Railroader. That's right, folks. We're back in Railroader, and we're just gonna run some trains. We're just gonna have some fun. We're gonna, we're just gonna have some fun, because fun is fun. We like fun here. Right? We like fun. I hope we like fun. And CSX is here. Welcome. Challenger, I have not looked into farm jobs. Main reason is farm labor is not entirely what I would be want to go for. Because that's just not my skill set. And yeah, that's just not my forte, and plus it couldn't really pay the bills. Anytime pays the bills. And I see CSX hasn't been here. Yes, we got face cam now, though I realize that my little overlay is still covering it a little bit, unfortunately. But oh well, we'll just put up with that. Yeah, basically there's a bunch of donations last time to get face cam, so we have face cam now. Face cam is a thing. We also have a new kind of streaming way of doing it, so that way we are in 1080p. Hopefully for the whole experience, you now don't have a weird resolution, and yeah, that sort of thing. Bucko's here, Jetpack Boy's here, White Pass aficionados here. Oh boy, a lot of people here. Let me check on the volume of something real quick. It seems louder to me. No, it's still what it is. Okay. That is a fun fact there, Bucko. Fun fact. Oh, well, happy late birthday, Colin Black. Welcome. And yes, Challenger, I know it'd be at least a paycheck. The problem is a paycheck that doesn't pay the bills is almost as good as almost as bad as not having a paycheck at all. So, it's that. Because I need to be able to support myself. And again, I have interviews. I've been having interviews. No bites yet, though. This most recent set of interviews I've had, I'm feeling pretty good about. Especially the one I had this morning. I'm not going to go into more detail than that, but it felt good. It felt good. And that's all I'm going to say at this time. CSX, I don't know that that's ironic, but hey, it just shows you're a fan of a certain TV show. If you're interested in coal mines, is there a way to just have coal mines in the sim? I know there's a lot of mods that add coal or coal functionality, so you can just focus on that and not activate any of the other industries. So, there's that. But, other than that, I don't know. Let's see here. You can see if the Susquehanna is hiring. Unfortunately, I'm a little far for the Susquehanna at my current location. Though I do have a couple short lines around me that I've definitely been heavily considering applying for and actually did apply for at one point. So there's that. And you donate an official PR. Oh god, we got White Pass and Penzi donating to Western Maryland 734 Rebuild. Nice. Hopefully that choo-choo comes back soon. That would be a nice choo-choo. And PXCK is saying woo-woo. Welcome, PXCK. An official PR, you're going to the Everett Railroad this weekend. Well, I hope you have a good time at the Everett Railroad. I hope you have a wonderful time. And JS Jason chat. Welcome, JS. Bucko, we're going to be going up to Alarka Junction, turning around, and then probably heading down to Silva, so however long that takes. Oh, the Baldwin guys? Oh, God. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Bandan. Exactly. But yeah, I hope everybody's enjoying the face cam. I'm hoping everybody's enjoying the chat overlay that we got now. Got those working. Excessive to put giant 28,000 gallon UP aux behind a modded C0T1. I don't think that would be excessive. It wouldn't look entirely right, but I don't think it would be excessive because of the tender size on that T1. So, guess it depends on your definition of excessive. I will say this: what you're seeing here is currently a in progress version of the mod pack again. I don't have any map mods. I'm hoping to deal with that this weekend for community night, but I'm not going to make any guarantees on that. That's speaking of, community night is going to be Sunday night. Originally it was going to be Monday, but now it is going to be Sunday night. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your perspective, I have plans on Monday involving job applications and job interviews. So unfortunately, I likely will not be able to stream on Monday. So there's that. So yeah, just had to move it around. I do appreciate you guys being flexible with me during all this and dealing with kind of my schedule. I wish it could be a little bit more consistent. March is just kind of, the way it is. Bucko, who's able to join community night? Members of the support crew, the people you see whose names are scrolling through chat. Though I will admit I haven't updated it recently. But if you're a member of the support crew, you can join us for community night. In Western Maryland, Steve. Oh boy, you've discovered you've discovered British team. Oh boy, I appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed the British team as we climb the grade. And Challenger, I had pizza for dinner. In CSX, that's a lot of water. That is a lot of water, for sure. Ooh, Chick-fil-A's a good option. No, it's all good, Bucko. That it's just a way of saying thank you. Hope you can at least join us for the stream because it's just going to be chaos. I'm literally going to have a save that and tell the people in chat run what they want and have fun. It's going to be a fun time, and I hope it's fun and entertaining for all, and that everybody here enjoys it. Oh, JSJ gifting 5 memberships. Thank you, JSJ. Appreciate you. Oh, and Stream Elements is doing some things, it looks like. And it looks like something got updated because it's not doing the dings. It just did that. That's weird. That's really weird. But thank you again, JSJ. You wonderful human being, you. Appreciate you. Oh, wait, I just noticed. We added Western Maryland Steve, and now we have Rio Grande Southern. Oh, boy. We're just getting all the railroads here tonight. Because we have also Rio Grande Southern talking about the photo charter in April at Cumbres. I hope anyone going to that has fun. I unfortunately will not be. My April is pretty darn booked. For those wondering, the East Broad Top is having its Easter trains, and you guys know I volunteer at the East Broad Top. So, you know, my April's kind of busy based off of that. But it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a great time. Also, you may notice, we have our combine on the back. Yes, the combine returns. The return of the combine. We like the combine here. We hail the combine. Engine's loud. Engine's working hard. That's why engine is loud. Well, I hope that your severe weather risk for Sunday doesn't get too bad there, CSX. Be safe. So just be aware of that. And, of course, now we have the Chicago and Northwestern. Oh, God. Now we're talking about... And there's Baldwin! Hi, Baldwin. How you doing? Yes, it is. Though, actually, this is a Baldwin project? Yes, it is. Baldwin is here. We like Baldwin. We are Baldwin in this house. Nope. Don't forget about Conrail. Oh, Conrail is here. I just noticed. No, stop it, Baldwin. No, we like Baldwin Bandan. Baldwin's good. CSX, I don't know what would be causing that. I do know that the lights cause some lag, but also if you have too many of them, just that might be it. You're making yourself a passenger timetable for a train with one car that has to go back and forth between two stations. Oh, God. Ping pong, ping pong. That's the ping pong train. Just goes back and forth. And Jetpack Boy will be fine as long as Lima doesn't show up. I could make Lima show up in game, but I'm not going to. Alright, I know map enhancer's not working, so I'll have to remember that. Okay, so we're going to throw that switch. And run the Y that way. Pacific Northwest and Southern, welcome. Yeah, that was from a previous stream. People donated to get the webcam up and running, so I figured out how to get it up and running. you know. And where's Alco when you need help? Yes, Pacific Northwest and Southern. Long time no see, but I'm here. Didn't die, didn't do anything like that, didn't disappear. Just had a time of dealing with job applications and job interviews. And basically by the time I would finish that for the day, putting on a stream for you guys was definitely not mentally on the cards, unfortunately. Not that I don't like you guys are awesome. It's just I want to put out the best stream I can for you guys. And on the last week and a half or so, or 2 weeks, however long it's been, it's just my brain has not been there. And that wouldn't be fun for anyone involved. So I figured take the break I need and give my brain the break it needs and go from there. And we're back today with Railroader, because I know it's been a while since we showcased Railroader on the channel. And saw Angry played Railroad Tycoon 2. Yes, he did. I've been debating whether or not playing like Transport Fever or something. That's a loaded question there, CSX, and my answer is really any of them. You know, it wouldn't be much reimagining. If diesels didn't exist, it just would have been more of the same. Yeah, I've been considering doing like a Transport Fever or something stream. I'm not sure. I've been thinking about it, Colin. Maybe that's what we do on community night. Midland versus the community. We'll have to figure that out. We'll have to figure that out. Alrighty. Oh, Tony, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Last of diesel mod include would you recommend for red marble helpers? I wouldn't recommend a diesel, or if I did, it'd be a GP38. If I was to recommend anything, C&O T1, plain and simple. Yeah, not the pie puns. Hopefully, Tony. Hopefully, stay healthy, stay happy. Challenger I have not yet. And the main reason I have not yet is depending on how some things go early next week. Things, you know, hopefully have a job and everything, etc. Streaming might become a little difficult there. So April, I hate to say, might be a fly-by-night a little bit. If I can put out a schedule, I will. It just might take me a little bit more than the beginning of the month, because I do try to get it out around the beginning of the month. I would expect some streams at some point. I just hope, should certain things work out, with me getting a job, I need to figure out my job schedule. If I do get a job, which I'm hoping to, because being gainfully employed is a good thing and desirable. But should that happen in April, which again I hope it does, I need to figure that schedule out first, and then from there I can figure out the stream schedule and how that's going to work. Because in all likelihood, at least with the positions I've been applying for, I'm going to be working more East Coast time zone hours rather than like West Coast or a different time zone. So that could make streaming easier, or it could make it harder. I don't know yet. And again, it's all dependent on if I have a job or not, which again, hoping I do. But, got to play it by ear a little bit. Gotta play it by ear a little bit. Also, you have that one mod, Silver Interchange, maybe Fox a ton more interchange. Yeah, that will cause things to lag, CSX. Be aware of that. That many cars will cause things to lag. Challenger, I don't know yet. I will wish you a happy early birthday and hope you have fun at the Strasburg Railroad. Because the Strasburg Railroad is a fun time. However, I cannot guarantee a stream on that day at this time. As we get further into April, beginning of April, I should be able to figure that out. But from some other stuff, it's just, again, figuring it out. Sincerely hoping I get a job in April, which again would mean figuring that schedule out. And then how that's going to jive with, my friends, the East Broad Talk commitments, my EBT commitments, and all that. And then jive it with the stream schedule. Now, ideally, should I get a job that's in a more stable time zone, unlike my previous employer, streaming potentially could be easier, because then it's at then I'm not interfering with as much. But also it could become a little more, and actually ideally it could become a little bit more regimented, where you'll know like Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday. You'll know that ahead of time. I will say also my friends' commitments have been kind of increased, especially right now. Just because, we're getting into that time of the year where things are picking up. So be aware of that. Lots up in the air. I think April will have another heavy. If I do put out a schedule, it'll have that heavy note, kind of like March did, of subject to change based on job interviews and job commitments. So just be aware of that. But we'll see what happens. What are you looking for in a job? How far are you want to travel? I mean, I'm willing to travel for work. My traditional training is more of an instructional background, so I'm kind of looking for something in that field. Ideally, working remotely. ideally. So it's just a matter of finding something and getting something to stick at this point. It's not necessarily, I shouldn't even say it's a matter of finding something. Finding the job is easy. It's a matter of getting the interview, you know, getting through all that and then getting hired and everything. So be aware of that. And April's busy. Excellent. You have a Steam Train event on the 12th and 13th, and then on 18th and 21st the Mini Train convention. Nice. Hope that goes well. Hope that goes well. I will say the East Broadtop is running their Easter trains on September 12th, 13th, and 19th if you're in the area. It's a fun time. Get to see the Easter Bunny. And Tony's retired, so every month for you is a good month. Understandable, Tony. I still got a long way to go. I'm not going to reveal my age, but I'm going to... still a little bit over 30 years until I am probably able to retire. So, enjoy retirement, though. I hope it's going well. Challenger, unfortunately, no. I had hoped to go into teaching when I was younger, and very unfortunately discovered it was not for me. Or fortunately discovered it was not for me. I'm much more of a back-end educating, but not necessarily teaching kind of a guy. So, yeah. Teaching, but in different ways. Also trying to get back in the swing. It's been a while since I played Railroader, as you guys know. So I'm trying to get back into the grand scheme of controlling things. Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay. Initially, that didn't make sense to me, what I was doing down there. I see what they're trying to do with that emulation. About how you'll take a 10-pound set, and this will say 25. Nice, Tony. I hope that went well. You play on a laptop showing us to play Rails online, probably much beyond that. That's fair, CSX. That's fair. I will say the Railroader, as fun of a game as it is, once you get up into 800 entities, it does get pretty laggy, and I don't know if the there's a upper limit to how many entities you can have. So yeah, I've heard that there is, or at least there was, back in the day. Okay, the corner's holding us pretty good. Another set to slow it down. We don't want to have a runaway train here. And of course I slowed it down too much. So pull against the brakes for a little bit. Alrighty. Corner's still holding us pretty good. I don't know about load tested like diesels are now, because right now you can put a diesel in neutral and run the engine up and to notch 8 and load test it to see if it loads. I would assume steam engines were at least steam tested, or did they hold pressure? They move back and forth. Some would probably even put on a freight or something as a test. But is it the same as the way diesels are tested now? Probably not. Because as with anything, it's the railroad. It becomes different. Challenger, I don't think you offended anybody. I don't see what you wrote there, Challenger, so... I didn't take any offense to anything. I'm sorry if it came across as I did. That was not my intention. Sorry about that. I will say one thing I've been enjoying recently, and this is a little off topic, it's not really train related, is the fact that daylight savings time turned over, and now it's not been getting, and it's all since the days have been getting longer, it's not getting dark at like 5 o'clock anymore. So, that's kind of nice. Slow down a little bit. Oh, there's a new sound effect for releasing the air. Okay. That's neat. Yeah, I'm not seeing which one you would be taking offense to. There was no offense taken. Alrighty. Well, we made it up and down the hill. Time to head east. East to Silva, which we now have a Y. I'm very thankful for this. We now have a Y. UP, there's no comment there between those two for me. So... either YouTube didn't show it to me or something. Yeah, probably. As Bandit said. Speaking of Bandit, how have you been? How you been doing, Bandit? Right. Bandon, you've been doing good. A couple friends had a baby. Nice. Very nice. It was on Top Chat Challenger. I just changed it to everything. Yeah, we're not gonna approach that subject. Let's see here. Been doing good, baby. Awesome. Friends had a baby. Yay! Now you get to be a crazy friend uncle. Colin Black, is there a limit on how many people you can play with, or is it based on how many your computers can handle? I think the maximum is 8. Or no, it's 32. Maximum is 32. I don't know how well the game can handle 32 though. So it probably does. Like if you had the best computer ever, it could probably do 32. But if you know, it all depends on other factors probably on top. I understand, Challenger. It's just I don't do politics here. I stick to trains, and that actually, frankly, makes my life a lot stressful, a lot less stressful. So that would be my recommendation. Stick to something that isn't politics. Stick to trains. Grim Reaper, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I hope you didn't sabotage Angry's train. Don't upset the Ragtimer. We want happy Ragtimer. Though I will admit, playing Repo with him is a lot of fun. To give it a mockingbird whistle, oh god. Pray he doesn't find out. Alright, we're probably gonna have to attack a grade here pretty soon. Repo's a fun game. If you guys haven't played Repo yet, like... like, Repo's just a fun game. If you haven't played Repo yet, seriously, play Repo. It's a fun time. It's like Lethal Company, except slightly less scary and a lot more funny. They didn't just add that. They've had a way to fight monsters if you have like baseball bats and frying pans and stuff, unless they updated it like today. Oh, it's a fun. Imagine Lethal Company, except with robots and infinitely more funny. That's the best way I can put it. It's the best way I can put it. Oh, they added a new feature today. I'm going to have to try that out, apparently. When you're strong enough to just pick them up and throw them, hold them for too long and you explode. Okay. Because I knew if you knocked them over, you could, like, hold them and bang them against the wall. But I didn't know that you could do that now. That's neat. That's interesting. What's Lethal Company? It's a 4-person co-op object find game with a horror component, with monsters and all sorts of jump scare entertaining sights. It's actually really kind of fun. I'll have to see if some folks want to play that later tonight. I know Angry's away, taking a well-deserved trip. Hope he is having copious amounts of fun. In Repo, there is a shotgun and a pistol. But you have to buy them, so you can only get them once you have enough money, and if they're available in the shop. They don't always show up. So yeah, beyond that, it's like... Yeah. And I will say they do have limited ammo. You can recharge them. There's not like a reload system or anything. You can recharge them back at your truck, which is your base. But also, if you run out of ammo, good luck. So... How much water and coal? We're doing pretty good on water and coal. I'm surprised. One cubic yard of water weighs 1,700 pounds. That both sounds correct and doesn't at the same time. Yeah, that both sounds correct and it doesn't sound correct at the same time. That's weird. I'm somewhat sus of that. Based off what you see in the railroad, 200 gallons is 1 ton. So the question is 200 gallons about 1 cubic meter? Which I guess it could be. It feels big. Like I said, that math both doesn't make sense and does make sense. It's being weird. It's being weird in my head. Came from a meteorologist. Well... they do go to school and they do go through science classes. But also, I mean, maybe that's like the one thing we can trust a meteorologist on. Maybe. Because meteorology, the one profession where you can be wrong repeatedly and still have a job. No, I'm not saying you can be like glaringly wrong multiple times, but you know, they can be wrong more than most of us. I don't know. I don't want to know what a literal shit ton would look like. I've heard the stories. I don't want to know. That was actually tested in weight. Okay. So they had like a cubic meter cube and poured water in it with the scale zeroed out. Okay. Well, that's a way to do it. 1 cubic foot is 7.8 gallons, so 1 cubic yard is about 200 gallons. Okay. Okay. And Gary Noble is here. Welcome. Welcome to Math and Science with Midland. Your fun science fact. A cubic meter of water weighs about 1,700 pounds. Yeah, I'm not picturing that CSX. I'm not picturing that. Not picturing that. No, thank you. Science. Science. Science is cool, as Bill Nye said. You know, Bill Nye the Science Guy. How do kitchen cars get fuel for the stoves? I'm assuming at station stops they get whatever fuel they needed. Usually probably propane or natural gas, I would guess. Yeah, just onboard tank and refilled en route, yeah. Just like Bandon said. I know nowadays... I don't know, do they use electric stoves nowadays, Bandon, off of the head end power? I didn't think they did, but they might, for safety reasons. And kitchen cars are a thing. They're basically a bigger kitchen that, like, it's on a dining car. It's just separate. I'm aware of that incident, Challenger. I'm well aware of that incident. I am well aware of the bean sniff incident. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if they would use electric stoves or not. I know back in the day they didn't, especially with the wooden cars. Really didn't like using oil or coal because if it tipped over, burning fire with a wood car. Steel cars, I know they use gas and things of that nature. But yeah, nowadays I don't know if they use electric or not. Part of me feels like they would, and then part of me feels like they wouldn't. And yeah, the 3-quarter game show recently, that's been kind of funny. The March Madness kind of bracket, that's been funny. That narrow gauge Atlantic should not have been a thing. I know it's a neat little engine. In the grand scheme of narrow gauge railroading, why? Just why? No. No. Yes, it is neat and weird, and neat because it's weird. But in the actual practical sense of narrow gauge railroading, why? Why? Because the answer in the actual practical sense of narrow gauge railroading is no. There is no reason for that. There's no reason for a narrow gauge Atlantic to exist at all. And you're so sad that your engine got knocked out. Yeah. I mean, but it went up against the AC9, which the AC9's a neat engine. I've been watching that bracket. My only like one that I didn't fully agree with was I'm one of those people who thinks 4960, the Grand Canyon engine, looks better now than it ever did on the Q. And I know I'm in the vast, very, very minute minority with that opinion, but I never liked how the Q Mikados looked, personally. And that's just a personal thing for me. Like, I'm not saying they're bad engines. I'm not saying they're horrible engines. Personally, for me, that look I did not like. William Penn, oh god. Yes, William Penn. You ever said the park bench got knocked out? I'm not. It made for a funny bit. It made for a very funny bit. Oh, that's true, Bannon. That is true. It's not that Western Pacific. It's the other Western Pacific. No, wait, not that Western Pacific. The other one. It's like, not that T1. The other T1. No, not that T1. The other T1. Challenger, there's some live steam engines that could probably beat Monty on a good day. Think about that. Some 7.5-inch gauge live steam could probably beat Monty. I have a distinct feeling that some of the Hillcrest engines that Heist showed off could probably give Monty a run for its money if they really needed to. The Monty that heist and crew are planning on building is probably going to be the strongest version of that class that's ever been, purely because of modern material. Bucko's saving up for 5-inch live gauge. 5-inch gauge live steam. Nice. Very nice. That's a lot of money. Hope you can save up for a long time. I think by the time we end this trip, we're going to have used a half a tank of water. Yeah, that didn't make any sense. Though I know why they did it. They were experimenting with gauges, and there was no standard gauge at the time. Or there was, it just wasn't called standard gauge. So, you know, be that as it may. Okay. That's actually not a horrible price. I know it's Australian dollars, but I know that's not a horrible price. So nice. What is that conversion? So 6,000 Australian is about 37.81 US. Somewhere around there. And yes, hi Celestial. I am here. Hello, Celestial. Side quest unlocked. Yes. Exactly. Side quest. I have not heard of that game, CSX. Yes, side quest. Rabbit hole. Squirrel. Game over your crowd and use the shoot gun, lob grenades at boards of enemies. Oh, jeez. Challenger JSJ is likely at work, if I had to guess. So, hope work is going well. That's where he is. So yeah. Alright, we're probably just now starting into the grade, heading up to... Okay, we're there. I was wondering where we were. We're there. That way! Alright, perks work. You have a shotgun that fires as rapidly as the machine. Oh god. That just sounds insanity. We like insanity. By putting cocoa soda in the piston rods. Oh no. Grim Reaper, why would you do that? Why would you do that, Grim Reaper? Alright, we're on a fast section. Let's open her up a little bit. Especially your European 10-wheelers. Okay. Neat, Celestial. Not my cup of tea, but neat. Come on, little Mikado. Spin those drivers. We must attack the grade up to Conway. Cowie, not Conway. Oh. I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't know if you guys can see this. But if I move my head that way, you might see a certain someone. A certain someone. Right there. Right. Hold on. Wrong hand. Right there. Right there. No certain someone. Catland has decided to make an appearance. Whether Catland knows it or not. Catland is here. Catland has decided to grace stream with Catland's presence. I will say it's entirely likely she's been there the whole time. But yeah, Catland. Catland is gracing us with her presence right now, live on stream. All right, we're attacking the grade. The engine sounds like a volcano's erupting. There's no hot box here, Grim Reaper. There is no hot box here. Yet. Alright. Up to Cowie we go. Engine sounding like it's going a million. Alright. Cresting the grade. Now we're talking about no defects. I can assure you there are no defects. I see no defects. We have a coal drag with a combine. There are no defects here. No defects at all. They filled the journals with ice instead of oil, so they stay cool. Ice is slippery. Inexplicably, this works without issue. Somehow, this works. Not in real life. No, don't do that, folks. Don't replace your oil with ice. It will not work. Alright, down through Dillsboro. Where's the conductor? He's back there somewhere. He's back there somewhere. Whether or not he's at the end of the train or elsewhere, don't know. Don't know. Why not dry ice? Because that's not slippery. If further north, just throw everything into the firebox for more steam. You could if you look closely, you could tell that's an oil burning engine they're throwing coal into. If you look very closely. I do like that they added more buildings down here in Dillsboro. They're starting to fill out the game a little bit more, which is nice. This is the stock map, by the way. This is not a modded map. Probably will add map mods here soon. I just need to figure out which ones. No Celestial. That would be murder. That would be murder. Why do you like joining my streams, Challenger? I'd be interested to hear that. No, everything implies a thing, and a brakeman is a person, not a thing. So brakeman not included. Very important distinction. Well, I appreciate that, Challenger. I try my best. I try my best. I try my best. Alright, we made it to Silva. I want to experience this Y. And then, once we experience the Y, we might end stream there. Nice little ease back into things kind of a stream. You know what I mean? So we're going to have to slow down to 15, I'm assuming. So let's set up some air. Time to experience this Y. Because I've yet to experience the base game Y. Destroy everything. We're not destroying things. Midland, did you know you're making 2 Aussie locomotives for rare? I hope that goes well. I hope that goes well. Because now I know. And I stopped too soon. Well, crap. Violation of not blow for the crossing punishment 30 more minutes of stream. I think if we did that for every crossing I forgot to blow for, we'd be here till a time that I can't be. So Celestial, I think that's called just making a black hole. Well, we know an entire 25-car train, including a locomotive, fits in there. Good. You You actually get a pretty decent sized train in here. It's kind of nice that you can get a pretty decent sized train into the Y. It must be something else. Yes, I can guarantee you it is something else. That's a nice Y. I kind of get why they did it the way they did it. Is this maybe the best way to do it? No, but I see why they did it this way. Yeah, I also like that they kind of adjusted this a little bit. That's kind of nice that they've adjusted some things. Yeah, looks nice. Looks good. Yeah, no pun intended. Definitely no pun intended. Definitely no pun intended. Alrighty. Well, folks, I think we're going to end stream there. Got to see some of the new changes here in Railroader that I haven't seen in a while because I've been off for a little bit. But we have trains back. We should be back tomorrow with another stream here. I'm pretty sure I said that's going to be Derail Valley or Railroader or both. We'll see how well that goes. I do have some plans that may interfere with some timings. But there should be a stream at least at some point tomorrow. So anticipate that. But on that note, we're going to get going here, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for putting up with my little absence here as I deal with job applications and job interviews. I will keep you guys apprised of the situation when I can and as things go on. So again, I thank you for bearing with me through all that. Thank you to JSJ for gifting the 5 memberships back at the beginning of the stream. And thank you to all of you for watching here today. Stay awesome, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.